Remember, I'm Thompson. He's Johnson.
Really?
Just so you remember, yeah, Aaron
Oh,
Thompson, Myron Johnson. It's funny.
Okay.
I'll just stick with the name of the podcast.
Longest running name in Eugene, Springfield.
Right.
I'm serious.
Johnson?
It's like one of the first black
was
families.
The first.
Oh, wow.
Was the first.
Nice.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Little history.
So I am Mickey, and this is the Wandering Minds podcast.
And I am Mike, and today we have Aaron and Myron, Thompson and Johnson. Coach. And you just told me that you are one of the first generationally black families in this area.
Yes.
That's actually really, really
In
cool.
1940.
Really? Where did they come from? Where did the family
Originally come out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather brought the family out here.
That's interesting.
Railroad.
Oh, okay. Because back then, this area was not a nice place for black people.
No.
Right?
Yeah, I was just thinking like that would be a great topic for a different podcast.
Right? So
Like
that's true. Don't want to
like-
steer into that.
Right.
now.
Like the stories and like what
Yeah.
your family went through and whatnot. Because I think bringing light to that, because like my generation, we're ignorant to it, just like I'm ignorant to boxing.
Yeah.
So because I haven't experienced, I wasn't there anyway.
But that's all right, That's right.
Okay.
We're here to educate everybody on boxing. It's not even about like expressing us as an individual, but it's the sport and the culture. It's a beautiful science. So
Let's talk about it.
And just life itself too.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. How long have you been in the boxing world? Not just coaching, but in the the game.
Since 1969. Wow. When I was 10 years old.
Okay. You got into boxing for what reason? To stay out of trouble, or was it?
Well, that was one, and two. My dad was a boxer in the military, in the Air Force, and he was also a runner-up in the '62 trials.
Wow. So it's in your DNA.
In my family's DNA, yes.
Okay. So you had your run at boxing.
How long was that for?
I actually stopped boxing quit in May of '87, just before my coach passed away.
Okay. So Myron, let's pretend like nobody knows who you are, like myself. So, you were a boxer and you fought.
Yes.
You got into the boxing ring, right? Do you hold records and things? Like, did you have a championship belt? Like, if I sound completely ignorant,
I was 75. I was a bronze medalist in the Junior Olympics.
Okay.
Wow.
76. I actually qualified for the Olympic trials, but I was too young.
Oh.
And I've been on many different U.S. teams, traveled everywhere, all over the world. Ranked number one for a little while.
Wow.
And actually I qualified for a couple different Olympic trials, but a lot of it I couldn't get. They wouldn't let me off work to go deal with that.
Yeah.
So then after that, I took over as a coach when my coach passed away in '87.
Wow. What weight class were you fighting at when you were fighting?
Welterweight, 147.
Oh, okay. Now, real quick to answer Mickey's question to Kevin, she had last week. How many different leagues, like you have Bellator, UFC, stuff like that? How many different, like, it's IFB? What are the?
You've got in the pro ranks. You've got the IFC, WBA, WBO. There are so many different ones anymore these days.
So now you guys have a Golden Gloves tournament coming up next weekend.
Next weekend.
Next weekend.
Next 27th and 28th.
Okay,
Friday and Saturday.
Which is here at
Matt Court.
Okay.
The Pit.
So now I'm assuming that there's going to be a lot of scouts at that tournament, right? Is there or no?
You never know who's going to be at any of these tournaments, because this is just a state championship.
Gotcha.
Usually, if you go to the regionals, but if you a lot of times if you go to Las Vegas for the regionals, there might be a few people there.
Okay.
But you go to the nationals, then you see a lot of lot of people there.
Okay.
You never know who's going to show up.
Yeah.
Well, for last year we had Mayweather Senior just showing up just to watch.
At the Golden Gloves?
Yeah,
in
at
Vegas.
the Vegas regional tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we had a couple of national champions there just watching casually. We had some guys from the radio podcast called The Boxing Voice. They're like they're definitely the biggest boxing podcast in the nation. I don't know the world, but definitely one of the biggest in the nation. And we got to go on their show as well. It was really awesome. And they got to watch our fights and interview us. And I don't know, it's really cool to see, like, even just Mayweather Senior, just just
in the audience.
Yeah, but also like playing with the kids. He was having them throw punches on his hand, and he was like having them throw jabs, and sometimes he'll make a miss. He's just playing with them,
Having fun with them.
Just being a person. Just being a person.
And that's what makes me think, like, man, it's more than just fighting.
Yeah.
It's so much more than fighting. It's a beautiful thing, just interacting with the community, teaching the kids how to be open and free. It's a dance.
Yeah.
And I think that was awesome, just to not only see a legend, but just see how he interacts.
Yeah.
Setting a good example of what I want to be when I'm older.
Right.
So.
Now, it is an art. I think all forms of fighting is an art. From my perspective.
Right, gotcha.
So, Aaron, what got you started in this?
I played football for about 11 years. I loved just being a roughhouser. I mean, I've been fighting and tackling, one of the two.
How old are you?
And I'm 25.
25. Okay.
Yep. And I was always playing football. It's always been a goal to just play in college. My family is the Tarver family, so we are widely known in Oregon for our athletics, let alone all over the U.S. I mean, if you've heard of Antonio Tarver or Seth Tarver, Josh Tarver, my uncles, they played in for Oregon State.
Okay.
From 05 to 2010.
Nice.
And they had a good run. I mean, they played against like Kevin Love and basically the best generation of basketball. Is really fascinating, basically, to see all of my uncles playing collegiate football or basketball. And
there's your mom.
And my mother ran track for the Ducks.
Nice.
Back in 2000, and after having me, I was her third child. Then she just decided to run track. So, this is crazy, like to see that
crazy.
The genetics of this. Yeah.
Take up running after having kids.
After having 3 kids too.
Well, she took up powerlifting, so that
Man, that's just
less impact though.
It's crazy.
That's cool.
Anyways, I did college football going out of high school, and I did for about a year. I couldn't afford my apartment. I did really well in football, but I redshirted, and I learned a lot athletically, gaining muscle, lifting, sprinting, running, all that stuff, that grit work, And then one day I just thought, I think to myself, man, I just got to go back home and start over and go back to college and do my thing. And so then I was cooking. I got this job at Mongolian Grill. And this guy named Ginnick walks in. Yep. I was cooking for him on a weekly basis. And he's, oh yeah, just got off boxing class, I was like, oh cool, boxing. And I said, I've been meaning to get back in shape. And so he said, hey, you should come in. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll come in, no problem, And I came in the week later, that he told me to come in. Yeah. I think he told me, he says, a lot of people say they'll come in, but they don't. Yeah, they always say they do, and then they'll procrastinate, and they'll just
or they think they're tougher than they are, and then they get scared, right?
It's crazy. And it is understandable because you're learning a new sport, but this is fighting, so this is like...
It's different.
Yeah, you're getting your space invaded. A lot of people...
You're vulnerable.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
You got to get used to that. I mean... With basketball and football, you're running away from people.
Yeah,
you're evading people,
right. Yeah,
right. So with this, it was next thing you know, I think 6 months later, he walks into the gym, and I'm hitting the bag and just doing my daily routine, and then he gives me some tips just right there, and then he walked out the door. I'm like, that was actually pretty helpful, right? He said, why are you hitting here? You should be hitting up there. Your jab should. I said, oh, okay, you're right. And then after that, I said, Ginnick, you mind if I go to Myron for a little bit? Let me go to his gym, check it out. He's like, yeah, man, he's a great coach. He trained me. I said, okay. And then I never turned back. I mean, I went to Myron, and then I was like, man, I feel at home. Yeah. So now 4 years later, I mean, I've been competing and grinding every day and growing from it. And it's like a new relationship. It's like a new passion. Yeah. Absolutely. A new passion. And I love it more than any other sport I've ever done.
Nice. Now, do you love it because it is a combat sport? I mean, obviously that has to be part of it, because I talk to a lot of fighters. I talk to a lot of people that are involved with fighting. And again, I always say this, you're a different breed when you actually enjoy, find the passion in combat sports. The pain of it is a beautiful thing.
I can say I've been thrown in the ocean throughout my life. Yeah. So I think I've been here before. It feels like I've been in a lot of fights as a kid, a lot of school fights, or getting into trouble. And I always feel to myself, whenever I'm in trouble, this is how I retaliate naturally, and as I've grown throughout the years. So through everything I've been through, it's now put into the ring. It's
channeled.
Yeah, it's channeled and challenged too.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking to myself, well, everything I've learned has been put to the test. And so now it's like I gotta listen to coach in the corner. I don't know how to explain it. It's a lot of things going through your brain, you know, and that's just what I love about it. Is first of all, it's genetic, but also I love the inner warrior within myself and within everybody, just to see like how far can I get into this. And I don't know, it's just hard to put into words. I love it because it's
a different focus.
It really is, man. It's a different focus. It's just really hard to put into words.
No,
I think,
and I get it. I understand you, and that's what I'm talking about. You're a different breed when you find that love for this. Who wants to, like some people don't show up to the gym. They're afraid to get hit.
You
know what I mean? They're afraid of conflict, and most people are afraid of conflict.
Right.
So they talk trash online or behind your back, and when you confront them,
it's a different story.
It's a different story, right? And that's fine. That's fine. But just know that you're a different breed. But that's what I appreciate about combat sports, boxing, and the technicality between the art. It is an art. It's a fluid art.
Because you can get hurt if you ain't doing the right things.
Well, like they say in boxing, you don't play boxing.
Yeah.
Because you can get hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, the moment you mess around, I mean, you do get popped in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's where that focus comes in. And I had this discussion the other day with somebody about the person that's most in control of their emotions in those moments.
Yeah.
Is better in that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
And you must teach that a lot.
Actually, I do, because and I teach that outside the ring too as well.
Yeah.
Because
reacting and responding, right?
And responding to that, because like same thing I was taught. You know, what I was taught in the ring, I don't take it out to the streets.
Yeah.
And if I'm in any kind of a conflict, to be able to walk away from it.
Yeah.
And if I can't walk away from it, don't start anything.
Right. Don't start something you can't finish, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost like we fight to learn not to fight.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we do it to know that, like, okay,
you don't have to do
it.
Yeah. And that's not the first thing I want to do if there's any situation where someone's trying to start a fight or an altercation. Like,
that just shows lack of discipline, I think.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing right there, the discipline.
Yeah.
But they choose to fight first.
Right.
It's crazy. That's the lack of this.
Yeah.
But the ones who fight all the time have more control. Controlling that inner monster.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, why we choose to do this is because we shouldn't, but at the same time, can't really help him. And we've been doing this for hundreds of years, thousands of years.
That's the way it is.
It's always been in us, in all of us.
So then you have those ones that, that, like you said, that talk, and then they can't back it up. But at the same time, they want to fight. They're the ones that want to start it, and in the end, well, I guess you got other different groups that, like I said, they'll start something, then they want to try and finish it at the same time, and it's like going, who's in more control? The one who doesn't want to do it, or the one who wants to do it?
Yeah.
And I look at the one who does not want to, because is the one that's in control. Because the one that's in control is the one that's actually going to hurt the other one.
Yeah.
And that is, people say, oh no, that's not right.
It's
yes,
dangerous
it is.
ground. Yeah.
You're stepping into a whole different can of worms.
Yeah. That's and I mean that's a beautiful thing. A lot of people don't know that they don't know, and I say that a lot. Mm-hmm. So coming into this tournament, what are you guys preparing for? Obviously to win, but
you're organizing it too, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
we're actually second in charge of this whole thing.
Wow!
Okay. So you're not just participating.
We're not just participating, and we're actually helping organize this whole thing. Spartan Boxing out of Medford, they're the ones who are actually in charge of it. Mm-hmm. And so since we both work here in town, and we said, well, why can't we just have it in Eugene?
It's usually in Salem?
It's usually in Portland, Salem, or Medford.
Okay.
And they've also had it over in Bend. Okay. So it's like, why can't we have it right in the middle?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So everybody's been wanting that for years.
Oh, that's awesome.
So finally, we got into the right contact with the right people, and we're finally slowly getting it together. Yeah. But it's coming along. We've had to put a lot of stuff together on our own, but it's coming.
Yeah. How many boxers are you projected to have
for our club?
Yeah, for the tournament.
Oh, okay.
For the tournament.
And your club.
Yeah.
We have 3 in the tournament itself.
Okay.
And a total of 5 just from our club.
Okay.
But for the tournament itself, there's probably going to be at least maybe 50.
Wow.
If
okay.
not
50
more.
Fighters or clubs?
No, 50 boxers.
50
but
over a 2-day period.
Over a 2-day period. But we're also having 15 to 17-year-olds that are having match bouts. And what that is we're just making matches for them. But 18 to 40 is for the tournament itself.
What if you're over 40?
If you're over 40, they call that the Masters Division.
You're like
same in powerlifting. The Masters Division.
Nice.
They have like a special ring for that.
Actually, there is a Masters tournament. I've actually coached a few Masters boxers. I got one. We've been talking lately. He's actually my 5-time world champion.
Wow.
And he's also in 4 different weight brackets too.
Wow.
Gosh, that's a huge fluctuation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how people can do that. For me, I'm 165 middleweight, and I want to get down to 156. I mean, it's like,
you don't look like you have that much to lose.
no, it's crazy.
Like a sauna suit in a sauna.
Oh my gosh. And that might just be the key. And then in Vegas, to live in Vegas is hot.
Right.
You'll be sweating all day, no problem.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Being in Oregon is I mean, I love the oxygen, the green scenery, everything's beautiful. I can't really complain about the weather. This is what you get when you want something to be
Green.
great. Well,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard to lose weight when, versus Vegas is hot over there. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but I walk around at 175, 178, and so I get down to 165. I feel perfect, but people who get down to within 4 weight classes, crazy.
Yeah. That's unhealthy.
Very unhealthy.
Yeah, no.
So when it comes to putting these fights together, how is that? How do you draw out of a hat? How do you put fights together?
Well, when in the tournament itself, we have a draw, depending on how many boxers there are in that weight bracket.
Okay, so what's day one looking like?
Day one looks like, say, like with his bracket, I think he's got at least 5 or 6 in his bracket.
Okay.
So they draw names out, 1 through 6.
Okay.
And those numbers that, like, he'll fight. Say he's number 1, and say they pull out number 6. He'll fight number 6.
Okay.
To whoever numbers they book out.
How many fights are you gonna fight day one? Just one? Just one fight?
Used to have to fight maybe 2-3 times in a day.
Yeah.
But now they've changed that over the years.
Okay.
You only fight one
For
day.
safety reasons, I would assume. Okay.
Yeah, that seems like it could definitely take a toll on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-minute
I don't
rounds.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I think so.
But you're not getting hit though.
Yeah.
I've had over 500 and some odd matches.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over the years.
I've had 0.
There were tournaments where in a 2-day weekend,
Yeah.
when I was boxing, I'd have 15 guys in my weight class.
Yeah.
And you sometimes fight 2 or 3 times.
See,
in
and
one
that's
day.
what I was wondering. Because it seems like that would be the norm. But I can understand the safety.
Yeah.
Things have changed in everything.
changed
It
a
seems
lot.
like.
So do they base it off of, so in his case, right, if there's 5 or 6, like if he has 7 years experience and
Doesn't
somebody,
matter.
Okay.
Makes no difference.
If
I'd
you're
say
signing up for it, then you better be ready
if
for
they
it.
entered into that tournament,
Oh yeah.
that's on them.
Oh, for
and that's
Golden
on
Gloves.
their coaches.
Well, for in general, I'm pretty sure it's within the amount of fights you have, right? So
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I
Because
have
there's like an
depends.
open,
There
and
is
then there's
novice.
There's a
Yeah.
novice and an
Okay.
open bracket, but for the tournament itself, this one is an advancing tournament.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
they entered into that,
They better be
You already got skills to some degree.
Yes.
Okay.
If they don't have the skills, they shouldn't be in it.
Yeah.
My,
And it's going to end quick.
They won't make it to day 2 then.
yeah.
Be surprised though.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
We had a heavyweight who won Golden Gloves on his first fight,
Really?
his very first fight ever,
Wow.
and he beat the champ.
Wow.
And
Wow, it
now
happens.
he's the
That's
champ.
fighting.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
the fight world.
It's crazy. My 5th fight, I fought the champ. I lost to him. I thought I had won that fight, and but it was a good experience, and I learned from it.
Yeah.
That's what's important too. Is after losing, you learn from these fights.
Yeah.
So technically, do you lose anyways? Right.
Right.
The L stands for learn. I always say
There
that
you go.
the L don't
Exactly.
stand for lose.
That's a
It
good
stands
way.
for lesson.
That's a great
right?
perspective.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is.
So,
So-
then, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask how many have you had then? How many fights have you had?
23.
Nice.
23 fights.
So how many wins have you had?
I've had 18 out of the 19 out of the 23.
That's
Nice
awesome.
record, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Thank you.
Any
I've lost
knockouts?
2, 3,
Okay.
4. I think 4.
Learns, not losses.
I said knockouts.
Oh, knockouts. Sorry. I thought you said losses.
one and this was last year in Tacoma, where he stopped the guy, and they actually had to. I haven't seen one that bad in a long
Ooh, look at you. Look at you.
Yeah,
man.
man.
happy
Hey,
hands.
It was scary.
Yeah.
It was
we pray over these guys even after these.
even after.
We're not sitting
Oh,
here to
yeah.
celebrate.
Yeah, yeah.
This
No,
is,
yeah.
It's funny how the pros they want to bring in the casuals in all fields of the
Yeah,
fans.
yeah.
And so the hype, right? Talking trash
The
and all these.
disrespect, yeah.
Yeah, but we don't we're here to.
Keep it classy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what.
That
I mean,
respect,
if you want
that's-
people to appreciate the art and the sport about it, when you get dirty, the talk and stuff, it's shadow.
It carries weight.
It
Right.
does.
It carries weight.
I like
you
the
know?
class. I always like the classy people. Let's
Yeah.
just be cool. We're gonna go in there and we're gonna tear each other's heads off, but that doesn't mean we gotta hate each other.
Right.
Yep.
Well, that's what saying I was taught. You can be friends inside that ring.
Yeah.
But once you get it, you're no friends. But
Yeah.
when you get back out, you can be friends all over again.
Yep.
But you're not enemies.
But you're
You're
not
just
enemies.
competitors.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I fought some sparring partners already, and it was definitely a learning curve.
Yeah.
Because you gotta hurt the man that's your friend.
Yeah.
You know, and actually it's
His job not to get hurt, so he's learning from that shit.
yeah, right. But I mean, it was hard for me to just keep going.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then again, at the end of the day, it's like we hugged right after the fight. You know, that's my boy. You
Yeah.
know, and then and that's it. I'll see you on the other.
Right.
You know,
see it training next
see,
week.
exactly. Yeah. So, but 23 fights, and I think every single fight I've had, there's always something I took away from it that I've learned from. And my fifth fight, like I said, I fought the state champion at my fifth fight. Then COVID hit, and I only had 5 fights at the time. This was 2020.
2020, yeah.
And then going into 2021 of summer. So this is 18 months of no fights. Everything was shut down.
Yep.
It's a lot of fights in the last year and a half.
Yeah, I've had
15?
16
16 fights this year since then.
Wait, this year? Oh,
21.
since then. Okay.
Summer of 21.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I
So
think
year and a half.
That's
Yeah.
about it. 5 or
Okay.
I think that's 6 fights.
Like once a month-ish.
Yeah, somewhere.
Pretty much.
Well, national. yeah.
Nationals, he ended up having to go. Well, the Golden Gloves, he had to fight 5 times.
In a week. So
wow.
5 fights in a week for
a week.
national Golden Gloves.
Nice.
Okay.
And this
Nice.
last one, he fought twice.
And
Yeah.
where is Nationals at?
It's always in the middle of the U.S., anywhere in the middle of the U.S.
Oh, okay.
So it
Oklahoma.
yep.
Oh, really?
It was.
Oh, that would
was
be
in
It was.
boring to visit.
So that's where this.
I guess
That's where we
that.
got this from.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yep.
So, is there a required amount of time you have to take off after a fight, win, lose,
No.
or no?
No,
There's no requirement.
Not in the amateurs. No.
Okay.
Now I know in the MMA they have to take
Yeah.
at least 7 days off.
Yeah.
After a pro fight. Really?
Amateur or pro, it's 7 days.
Yeah.
But in the amateur boxing,
Nothing.
there's
You can go the
there's
next
guys
day.
that have been what they call an RSC, which referee stops contests. They might they'll fight one day. Like I say, they got a match bout. Then they may have another match bout the next day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and it obviously
long
it
as
goes
they're not
back to
hurt.
multiple fights in a day.
Right.
I can. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, in Oklahoma or Tulsa, by the way, Tulsa is like Portland. That was crazy.
Oh, is it?
It's just like
you mean
Portland.
dirty?
Yeah, some parts.
Some parts
But
of it, yes.
Downtown, it's like opposite. It's just like Portland, but it's opposite. Downtown is empty, but outside of Tulsa, on the outskirts, is like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's weird. But it's just like, it's really interesting. But it was a good experience to travel and not only fight, but just getting to travel and get to know your the city you're in.
Yeah.
And within those 5 fights, I wouldn't say that after, let's see, like the 5th fight wasn't the hardest fight. The 4th fight was not the hardest. It was, I think the second fight was one of the hardest fights I ever had. And this guy was coming forward. We were going against Cincinnati's Golden Glove champ. And Myron kept telling me, hey, these Cincinnati fighters, they come forward.
Yep.
You need to be ready. I said, okay. And, I think to myself, everything that coach would say is like, it's like either a boost of adrenaline or anxiety or both. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll be ready. Yeah. I mean, whatever you tell me, I'm about to do it.
Yep.
I mean, and because it's like, he's commanding me to do what it's like a controller, like a video game.
Yeah.
And he calls out the combinations and I got to do it. And it's not going to be right hand, uppercut. Look, he's calling numbers.
Yeah.
I think to
So you
myself,
gotta remember numbers.
yeah, I think to myself, Mexican fighters or fighters that speak in their own language, that's why I feel like they do better. They focus better because they can only hear that language. They don't know what anyone else is
Oh,
yelling.
yeah.
So that actually makes a good point. Is when you're in there, when you're mixing it up, are you zoned in on his voice alone?
Man, absolutely.
Okay, so do you
Especially with
guys
his deep
practice
voice.
that? Yeah, I was gonna say you got a deep voice. Do you guys? I mean, do you guys train for that in whatever way? Is it like train in loud arenas, loud with music,
No.
loud, nothing like that?
Music's loud sometimes.
Okay, so how are you able to zone in on him? Is it just the connection, or is it something that you're like you rely on heavily?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
One, the voice, the deep voice is very helpful. 2, it's the numbers, and 3, it's that connection.
Yeah.
I mean, not gonna lie, it's comparable to Pokemon. You like if you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You got or like a pet having a dog.
Yeah.
She listens to you more than all the other people. They don't know that dog doesn't know you, but its master it listens to
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
all the
yeah.
other people.
No,
So
I get that.
I've had people I've sparred against where Myron's not there, and then I'll fight them again. Maybe a few weeks later, Myron's finally there, and when he's there, it's like something's just I'm just channeled in.
Yeah.
And I do exactly what I need to do.
Yeah.
You know. So
Well, I think that he's the same way in like with his powerlifting and his coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because he's super fucking strong, but he always does far better when his coach is there.
yeah.
And there's
It
just
just
something
is-
about
it
it.
is
That familiar.
chemistry.
That's
Yeah. Do you guys know the Felipe's from FS Forever Strong?
Yeah.
Okay, so Devin is my coach.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, so like she was saying, he's so cued into my body language,
Right.
my everything, and we're
Yeah.
connected.
Yeah,
like
so I
just the
assume it's
lift
the,
off,
the
just
same.
so that's where I get that. I get that.
I gotta go to Forever Strong and get some
Yeah, you
training
do.
there.
Yeah, you do.
I
Come
see
over.
what they do. I love it, man. I mean, throughout the
I've
years,
never been over there though.
Come over.
Yeah, we gotta-
They're getting all new equipment coming in soon within the next couple.
Yeah,
couple
it'll be
weeks.
totally redone in
I'll
a
be
few
there.
months.
It's gonna be sexy. You come seriously.
I come through, man.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some.
One of our other guys that Arik goes over.
Yeah,
there.
Arik.
Arik,
Yep.
great guy. Yeah,
He's one of my first sparring partners, man. Arik
Yeah.
is my
Is he
guy.
the one with the son that I was like, look at that
Yeah.
11-year-old like
DJ.
benching more than me, but he's apparently
DJ.
16.
Yeah,
Yeah, his 4
DJ.
kids.
yeah.
It's like, look at this kid walking here.
Yeah,
And,
Brent Primus goes
Yeah,
there.
I
MMA.
used to help train Brett.
Yep.
So
Yep. He goes there and gets his conditioning in.
Yeah.
Dude, come
Yeah.
over, man.
Yeah, and
Seriously.
Kevin
haven't seen Brett in a
Bohm.
while.
Kevin Bame. Yep.
Or Bame, excuse
Kevin
me.
Bame.
Yep.
Yep.
I think a lot
my
of people
guy.
mispronounce it.
Yeah, I always hear.
Well, it is.
It
the
looks
way
like
it's spelled.
bone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, you should
Yes, anyway.
come and check it out.
Absolutely.
Come next month. We'll come and watch the competition, which is February 25th. But
Okay.
off
The
me,
powerlifting
back
meet.
on to you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll be
I gotta
competing there
remember,
in the
remember that
Masters
because I
degree.
think I'm going to be gone around
Oh
then too.
man,
I've done some workouts throughout my time, and man, I love the drills that I've seen Kevin do. You know, and I'm like, I got to get in there.
Yeah.
You know, what we do is, what we do at our gym is classic and old school, and what Coach Rico says is what do he say about if it old don't fit change it.
if it ain't broke, don't
If it
fix
ain't
it.
broke,
Don't fix
fix it.
Yeah.
And,
But we still do it. I when they tell me, well, we need to do something different.
Your little hybrid
I said, okay.
routine going. Yeah,
Then when I do it, then it actually kills them.
yeah right.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I said, all
what
right,
you
we've
want.
done all this
Yeah.
You
stuff,
asked
so
for this.
Well, and the conditioning
And it
coaches
works,
over there
and it
is-
works.
Yeah, I mean, think about with like the MMA. It's like these guys are going hard, full body
Right.
hard, you know,
Right.
and they're getting the conditioning, and it's like, as you know, that cardio is so important
yes.
to keep that heart rate going, to be able to control that heart, which I think goes to controlling your emotions.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Absolutely.
So, how just you look really cool, calm, collected, like Coach here. How much in your mind right now? Because tournament's next week.
Mm-hmm.
How much in your mind are you guys? I mean, because you're like, we got this shit in the bag. It doesn't matter. You as a fighter, it's like, tell me how you are, how you guys are emotionally right now coming into this tournament.
We'll go first.
Okay. Right now, actually, I'm calm, but I'm also stressed out about it for the simple reason being that, you know, this is going to be here in town.
Yeah,
And at
you
the
guys
same
are-
time, and we're actually putting everything together pretty much ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like I said, it's not even supposed to be us doing it, but
Yep.
we're just helping assist on this whole thing.
Yeah.
But having it here at MacArthur Court is really huge, because since it's being the 100th year of the Golden Gloves.
Oh.
Period.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a big thing, and we're trying to make it big.
Oh yeah.
So, but it's stressful.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well-
I would imagine.
I think every fight is important. I don't care what level it is. So I'm not gonna downgrade whatever. I'm gonna do exactly what I trained hard to do, and I make sure that I die every day in that gym, so that I can live another day in that ring.
Yeah.
And that's the easy part. It should be the easy part. To me, it is. It's the training that is. This is my battle right now. I'm currently battling. So going into next week, man, even today, man, I'm hungry to do some sprints. I'm hungry to do and run 3 miles after we're sparring, you know, and do some bag work right after that. You know, do the impossible because I'm thinking to myself, well, they're not going to do this. They're going to be limiting what they're doing. So I want to exceed what they are doing. I don't care what it is. It's going to get done.
Yeah.
And I believe in speaking things into existence. And so I'm not, how do I explain it? Like, I'm very confident going into this fight simply for the fact that because I need to make sure I'm getting worked every single day, so that it continues to humble me. And I look forward for that humbling aspect, the sparring, the being tired, getting used to being tired, you know, and I want my space to be invaded now so that I can be ready for all corners of what I'm going to be meeting in that other side of the ring, whoever I'm gonna be fighting. So I don't care who it is in that ring, whether it's a sparring partner or a buddy or an opponent, you know, he's here to learn just as much as I am. And with the amount of fights I've had now, I think I really want more. I want more fights on my resume. Not just it's not enough to me. And so I'm just ready to improve. That's it.
You're confident but not cocky.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's also another thing saying about what he was saying about there's a thing saying that you be ready.
Train to be ready.
Get ready when it's time to get
ready
in
so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
So that's life. That's life, especially as a fighter.
Yes. Well, not just as a fighter itself, just as like you said, just in life in general itself. Be ready for that.
So. Well, you know, we was fighting all year, and even because there's 2 nationals every year, and because of COVID, things were pushed back last year of 2022. So we had nationals in the summer of August, national Golden Gloves, and then going into December we had USA nationals.
Okay,
and that would be during the time where we'd be kind of, you know, taking it lightly, resting a little bit. But I said to myself, man, I was like, well, I took like a week break, maybe a week and a half. I still couldn't help but go to the gym a little bit, you know. And coach told me I have Coach Myron, Coach Jeff, and Coach Rico, and they each told me, I think you should go, you know, go to U.S. National. It was in Texas, and I was like, you know what, all right, let's do it, you know. And I think of Thanksgiving, or a week before Thanksgiving, I decided, let's do it, let's get ready. And then December 3rd was nationals. From the 3rd to the 10th, it was about a week. So another 5-day fight potential tournament. So I, at the last minute, it was like 3 weeks notice, decided to go to nationals and give it a try. I wanted to just be challenged and see what I'd be going up against. And so I ended up fighting the number 1 guy in the nation for the 2nd time, and I lost. And I'm like, man, it was a better fight, but now I know and I've learned from it. You know, like I said, the L don't stand for loss, stand for lesson, stands for learn. So now I'm hungry going into this Golden Glove tournament. And especially in my hometown.
Your hometown.
I'm so grateful for it, man. It's incredible. And I bet a lot of people would love to see this, and for the 100th year. And working at the university has been amazing. The connections that you find.
I'm gonna go. I'm going to watch for sure.
And
appreciate the support.
You know, with us both working there at the U of L, so it's been a big learning curve for me. So, but going into this year, he's got a chance at 5 Olympic qualifiers. So this year alone.
We're going into the Olympics. So this year there's going to be 5 national tournaments to qualify for the Olympic trials. So I got top 2 in national Golden Gloves, so which qualified me to the qualifiers. To qualify to the Olympic trials.
But he's got to figure out if he's going to go 176 or he's going to go 156.
Gotcha. Now who makes that decision?
He's going to make that decision himself.
Decision? Okay.
He'll make the ultimate decision himself.
Yeah.
But in the same time, once he figure out which one he's going to do, that's when I start really pushing him.
And you stick to it.
Stick
this
to
is
that.
where you're at. Okay.
Yep.
So do the Olympic trials have different weight classes?
Yes.
Yeah, because you said 165, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
They took it out this year.
They took it out.
Oh, okay. What are the weight classes usually?
Usually have
Like every 10 pounds, every 5 pounds ish?
they keep last one was what? It was 154.
Yeah, I have it right
now
here.
it's 56. Then they, like I said, they keep changing them all the
wonder-
time.
Interesting.
They're trying to take boxing out of the Olympics.
What?
for the next one, I think.
For skateboarding?
Oh, my
Yeah.
I don't know.
goodness.
They said for like
Kite
It's for
flying,
something.
freestyle
Something
kite
like
flying
that.
or some bullshit.
But
Something.
they're actually wanting to take it out.
they say for reasons of politics and bribery, and
There's
they want
been
to
a lot of that.
change the rules.
Oh.
It's not really like an official decision that they're taking it out, but
Yeah.
it's taken out to be a different like organization,
Like a
to run it.
rebranding or
Yeah,
something.
rebrand.
rebranding
Exactly.
it.
Okay.
Change the rules of how they're judging the fights.
Yeah.
because a lot of people are
There's
getting
been a
robbed.
lot of bias.
Oh, man.
A lot of
That's
bias. And
horrible.
we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of one of the guys actually out of Washington, and we actually boxed him last year at their Golden Gloves, and he made it all the way on the youth team, and he fought against a guy from
India.
and which is actually part of Russia.
Oh, okay.
So, and he actually beat this guy
So
badly.
this
Yeah.
is Youth Worlds. Youth Worlds is like a world tournament that they do. If you're
Oh,
under
okay.
18, they call
Yeah.
it youth. So this is the
Gotcha.
world championship, and he beat Ukraine. He beat
Everybody.
he beat everybody. One of the big guys already. India. This was crazy. They were fighting, and then man, suddenly after the end of the fight, I thought he had that in the bag. But I think it's always when they're about to raise the winner of the
as soon
fight,
as they
they're
pause.
pausing. As they pause for like 5 minutes, they're standing there, and then they raise the other hand. Like, man,
Wow.
it was weird.
You know something's
Yeah.
up when they got to
you know
wait
something was
that
up.
long.
Yeah. Yeah. It did the bunny hit the bank yet?
Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly.
To answer your question,
Yeah.
so the weight classes is 112, 125, 132, 139, 147, 156, 165, 176, then 203, and then 203 plus.
176 to 203. It's like 5 to 10 pound jumps. And
It's crazy.
Little tiny
Wow.
jumps. Woo.
But
And
they
then to
took-
25 pound jump.
But they took
They took
certain
out
ones out.
They took out 132, 147, and 165. So you go from 156 to 175 to
That's like-
203.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
Those are huge
those are for
differences.
the Olympics itself.
Wow.
Doesn't make sense, but I think I would just get into 175.
Just stay at home there, right?
Yep. Just
Yeah.
kind of bulk up a little, get a little stronger, no problem.
Come
you
to
know?
FS and work on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, absolutely. Myron, come on now.
I think he can hang with some of those guys.
Hell yeah.
Personally.
Anybody can.
yeah.
Forever
Anybody
Strong is
can.
really an awesome gym.
Yeah.
Well, even with that, it's just I know what he can do, and I know what he can't do. So at this point in time, it's like right now, let's just stay where we're at. When the time is right, this is when we're going to make that jump.
Yeah.
So right now, this is not the time for him
Yeah.
yet.
Well, your focus is right here, right now, this
Yeah.
next
Yeah,
weekend.
Yeah.
this next
That weight
weekend, that's
class,
it.
destroy it, get to nationals.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Are the weight
one
classes-
fight at a time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are the weight classes the same for nationals?
Yes.
For Golden Gloves?
In
Yes.
regionals?
They're all the same
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
But when for the qualifiers, they're different.
Yeah.
But for the Olympic qualifiers, they're different.
Yeah.
But as far as a regular, they're all the same.
Okay.
And either way, you're going to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
Other than
Exactly.
fattening up a little
Yeah,
bit.
man. I'm
Bulk it up.
And if I do that, I'll do it for like a week.
Because he
Yeah.
eats everything that I cook.
His metabolism's fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got to be
Gotta
hard.
eat.
So let's have some closing thoughts. I want to know because we're going to come to an end here, but tell me something about what's going on. Promote it, push it. Let's have it.
As I said, got the championships here in Oregon, the Oregon
Big
Golden
time.
Glove Championships.
100-year anniversary.
The 100-year anniversary, and this is the first time it's actually been held
Yeah.
in Eugene.
Let's get it.
And so right now, like I said, we're really pushing this thing. I've been trying to get a hold of the TV station, been trying to get all the radio stations, and I still haven't had any contact back from any of them. Okay. You know, it's like nobody answers. Yeah. So it's like, you know, what do I do?
My turn. So my turn.
But we're still working on it.
Where the camera at? Right there?
Yep, yeah, right there.
Be there.
Be there.
MacArthur Court, the pit. Man, when's the last time you've been to the pit? I'm telling you, when's the last time you've been to the pit? It's been 10 years, maybe 10 years plus. What, 2010? Let's go. Yeah. It's the 100th year. You know, you got the best boxers in the state of Oregon. And after this, we go to Vegas, and it's going to be the time of your life traveling.
The winners of this will go on to Pennsylvania for
exactly.
nationals.
Winners of Vegas regional tournament, we go to Pennsylvania for nationals. And this is the year to put that work in, because we're going to the Olympic trials. We're going to win all of that. We're going to get to the top, but it takes time. It takes a process. So
and support.
Let's go. Yeah. You know, last year Oregon won. We regional champions, and that's the first time in a very long time. I think it was like 20 plus years. Yeah. And I want Oregon to really be put on the map. Yeah. That's the objective. It's not. This isn't about me. This is about just the team of Oregon to represent and to be a family, because this is what boxing is all about. Yeah. And this is what fighting is all about. You know, respect to all sports of fighting, jiu-jitsu, MMA, Muay Thai, kickboxing, wrestling. That all is important. Boxing is just as important to all of that. Oh, yeah. So, you know, it's like Thanos in the rings.
Right.
You got to collect them all.
Right. It's one of the foundations. It's one of the foundations.
It's important.
Yeah.
And this is history, the 100th year.
Yeah.
You know, since the time of Joe Louis, the last, he won Golden Gloves back in 1923, 24.
Wow.
And it's incredible to say, you know, that we're able to host that. And so this is a growing experience, and I want you guys to be there. Tune in.
Yes.
That's it.
Dates.
I love it.
Dates.
Next
27th to 28th January.
6 p.m.
You know, personally, on a personal note, I would love to be the Oregon coach again, and also be the national coach again.
Oh yeah.
As I was for 2022.
Yeah.
So, and I would love to see that happen, but if I'm not, I want to be one of the top coaches at these state, regional, and national.
Yes, sir.
And possibly as an Olympic coach too.
Hell yeah. Let's go. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.